Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video, we are house hunting.
That's right.
Well, we already house hunted in the past. This
That's
was
also
filmed 2 weeks ago?
Probably, yeah,
so,
before we left.
Unfortunately, I filmed the entire video of us giving you our thoughts in slow motion.
On slow mo.
So none of that we can use. So we thought we'd just sit down and kind of give you a recap of all the pros and cons of each house.
Yes.
But before we get into the houses, well, I think you guys know we've been planning to move. The tiny home we're living in was really temporary.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hoping to move in February. So that's kind of our plan right now. And I also wanted to just share kind of what the house and rental market is like in Hawaii and how things work, because it's quite different than the mainland.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing is that in Hawaii there's not a lot of big apartment complexes, so typically you're looking at houses, cottages, attached ohanas, places like that. So you're not really dealing with these like big corporate apartment buildings where you can just stop in, get a tour, sign a lease. And also, typically people list the rentals maybe anywhere from 1 week before it's available. I think it's rare that you even get a month before it's available.
Yeah, you can find one here and there for a month, but it's very rare.
Yeah, so it's very short notice that you get to actually view places. So a lot of people like decide they're moving out and then they find somewhere within like a week or two of when they're supposed to move. So we were searching, this was in December. We know we probably won't move till February. So a lot of the places we toured, we kind of knew that they would be gone already by the time we get home. So we just thought it would be fun to take you along. Also, it's very hard to find a place with a dog.
Yes.
And so that has limited our search because a lot of places do not allow dogs here. Sometimes we still will reach out if the listing says no dogs.
Been definitely a little struggle, and yeah, it's like we have the ideal place where we want to live, the location, the amount of rooms, and then we have a dog, so it just narrows the search down. Like
so
in an already very small pot of options, it like takes only like 2% of that pot that we can even really like look into or want to look into and entertain. So
we have a very slim pickings, but
yes.
I was surprised that we were even able to tour this many places, because every time we've looked for a place in the past, we never looked at other places.
Right.
We like knew we were gonna live there and then moved. We never like actually have house hunted in Hawaii. So this was a kind of first time experience for us.
Yeah, it's been fun.
Yep. Okay, so let's get into it. I will say the places that we look for in Hawaii is Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace, and an app called HotPads. So those are the 3 places we look, and I really don't think there's any other way. You might be able to go directly through realtors if you have a higher budget, but yeah, that's the main places you'll find rentals in Hawaii, at least on Maui.
Totally.
Okay, so let's get into house number 1. This was the first house we toured. Let's call it the yellow house. It was so charming from the outside. I love the color. As you can see, the washer and dryer are in the driveway, which is honestly pretty common for Hawaii. Here is the living room. I really love that bay window, the natural light. I didn't really get a good clip of the kitchen, but you kind of get an idea there. It was a little outdated. And honestly, my least favorite thing about this place was that brown office carpet. This is the first bedroom. It was a little bit dark and gloomy. Then we head over across to the only bathroom, which was pretty spacious. I love that it had a lot of storage. Also love that there's a bathtub because we haven't had one of those in a while. There is a linen closet in the hallway. And this is the master bedroom. What I thought was odd was there was a random sink in the bedroom. And I just thought that was a weird use of space and just kind of random to have in your bedroom. And then the only outdoor space we would have is this little slate of concrete. We have no really like grass yard or anything like that. So that was a big downfall of this property. So the first house we called the Yellow Cottage. So do you want to talk about the pros?
Yeah, I mean, one of the first thing that I saw when that I liked about it when I saw it, and I thought you would like about it, is like how charming it is on the outside. And it's like this bright yellow cottage as you saw, and just like kind of like this cute, has this ambiance to it, you know. You look at it, you're like, that's super cute. And I also like the price point to it. I think the price point was pretty good for a 2-bedroom.
Keep in mind the rental market right now is crazy, so all of these prices are extremely high, especially compared to the mainland. But right now in Maui, a 2-bedroom, you're looking around $2,500 and up.
Yeah,
And
like or even like $3,000 up. Like it's crazy. So if you can find one like this for $2,500, that's a good deal. Yeah.
And then if you're looking for a 1-bedroom, they're anywhere, I don't know, I think they're like starting at $2,000.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Anyway, so the price point was okay.
$2,500.
Compared to some of the other 2-bedrooms we were looking at that started more at like $2,700, $2,800. This one was $2,500.
Yeah.
I can't remember if electric was included or separate, but basically that always adds in the cost.
Yeah, could have been. I don't remember either, but it was a nice spot, and I really liked the location as well.
It was very close to his work, both of our works, and close to the town that's up there. Let's get into the cons.
Okay.
So the biggest con I thought was there's no yard space at all.
Nice yard, just not for us.
Yeah, you'll find a lot in Hawaii that the properties, there is a main house on a property and then there's an ohana or cottage on the property. So there was a big house on that lot, which had a beautiful big green yard, but
nice.
They said that's not ours. So there's absolutely no yard space. It was quite outdated. They had like that brown office carpet throughout the whole thing that was like not soft at all. It literally felt like office carpet.
Yeah, and even like felt like the cabinets were kind of falling apart a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I didn't get a good shot of the kitchen, but the kitchen was in rough shape. The fridge was in rough shape. So all of that. Also, it kind of have a weird quirk in the kitchen. The kitchen island was desk height. And so it wasn't good, like all that extra island space wouldn't be good for prepping food or anything like that, so you just lost out because you would have to be bending down or like sitting on a desk chair.
Right.
So that was kind of odd as well.
And for me, it was like miniature desk height. Like maybe a good size for you for a desk, but it was so short. I was like looking at this and like I can't even use this as a desk.
Yeah, that was weird. And then also the last con was just the rooms were a bit dark. We went on a sunny day and they were just still a little bit dark, which to me is really important because filming videos and having
need light.
Good lighting is part of my job. All right, let's move on to the next house. Now we're moving on to house number 2. It was on a beautiful property that's gated and really private. The laundry is also outside. My favorite thing about this house was this huge lanai and large fenced yard. So much greenery. Handsome would love this. Just imagine sitting on the porch playing fetch with him. This was really a dream. Now inside the house, some things were a little bit outdated, including the kitchen, but it wasn't too bad. Some other things were like the light features, which we could easily swap out while we lived there. We did notice that all of these window panes can be opened, which is amazing for natural light. We did go to see it on a really rainy day, so it was hard to gauge how much light we would get, but this was the master bedroom and it was pretty dark and small. Like I'm not even sure we could fit our king size bed in there. The closets were a really good size though, so that is a plus. This is the bathroom. There's one bathroom here. Not as much storage as the last place, but there is this big jacuzzi tub. This is the second room, which was really tiny. It would be the perfect size for an office, but we're not sure if a bed would fit when we want to have guests over, which is really important to us. Favorite part about this bedroom are these double doors that open up to the lanai. It's just such a beautiful view, so much greenery. And as you can see behind Kyle, there is another house on this property. So although it is fenced and pretty spaced out and private, we would share the driveway and the front gate with them. Okay, so the next house we toured was the Red Barn, which I think we both would agree it's like our top 2
probably
of this video.
Yeah.
So anyway, do you want to say pros or cons?
I think I'll leave you to the pros this time,
Okay.
and I'll talk about the cons.
All right, so the pros of the Red Barn was that it had a fenced yard, and on top of a fenced yard, it was so much yard space.
Yeah.
It was like so much space from that lanai. I could just see us playing fetch with Hanson there. It was great. Keep in mind though, it was on a shared lot, so I think that yard would only be ours, but Hanson kind of would have access to like walk up to the neighbor's house, which I don't love.
No, not
I
at
don't
all.
want him to get in trouble. On to more of the pros. It was more space. The living room was more spacious. I don't know, the rooms were still kind of small. I think the overall square footage of the entire place was bigger than the yellow cottage. But yeah, so there was more space overall.
Yeah, totally.
It's also more private. It had big closets, so
Yeah, it did.
two big closets,
Yeah.
which is amazing. It did have that huge jacuzzi bathtub.
Oh, that was what I was most excited about.
There's also lots of extra storage underneath the house, so we could put, extra boxes, surfboards, things like that under there.
Totally.
It had a big lanai, which is that big porch off of the second bedroom, which is beautiful. Could totally set up a dining table, also like a lounging thing, or we could maybe even do like workouts out there.
Yeah.
It was quite big.
A lot of space. Yeah, the cons, for the most part, it was just a little outdated. You kind of go in and the place, like the walls weren't painted and you could tell they were all scuffed up, like the cabinets were outdated. Had some odd light fixtures in there. So just some things that quick touch up and, quick change could make a big difference for it.
For the price point, it was pretty rundown.
Yeah, and that was the hard part. Like the price point was up there and we're like, I couldn't justify necessarily paying this price at this quality. So there was that, and also like we talked about the small bedrooms, the dark bedrooms. Those are two big issues that kind of hard to get by when like we have all of our bedding and all that stuff, and we don't know if that would even fit in it. And then also the light for filming and whatnot.
The office,
really important.
second bedroom had good light. We did go on a gloomy day, so we're not so sure. We could maybe go back and tour it again on a sunny day, but that small bedroom, we're not sure if we could even fit like a queen size or full size bed in it.
Yeah.
And the whole point of getting a second bedroom is to have office space, but also so guests can stay with us.
Exactly. So if it's just an office, it kind of defeats the purpose of that.
Yeah, especially at that price. But
yes,
we did find out later on, no one has bought it. No one has rented it yet.
Yeah.
So they did lower the price from
$2,900 to.
I thought it was 28.
It's 28 or 29.
I think it was 2,800.
Well, they dropped it down to 2,600 now, so a little more intriguing.
Yeah.
I think we could go look at it again when we get back,
Yeah.
if it's still up to see. But we're not sold on it. All right, quick battery change, and we are back. 3.
The next place we toured was this updated 1-bedroom, 1-bath. This is in a completely different part of the island that we're considering moving to, but we did decide that we would want 2 bedrooms if we were gonna relocate, and this one only has 1. It does have these beautiful big windows, lots of natural light. There's a laundry room and full bath. The problem with moving in this area is it's really hard to get outdoor space, so we do have this little private patio area. However, there's no grass for Handsome. Okay, the third house we called the beach house because this is actually a completely different location than where we're located right now. This would be, I don't know, like a 5-minute drive from the beach.
Yeah, if that.
So calling it the beach house. We honestly didn't consider moving from the area we're in, but we have now started playing with the idea.
Yeah.
Could be fun to live really close to the beach, maybe for a year, although it is quite hot over there.
It is quite hot.
A different experience. It's much more busy, more traffic, more tourists. So.
Yeah, and farther away from work, and
Yep.
you know, it has their cons, but right off the bat, you walk in and it's just super nice. Very well done, updated. It's got everything kind of put together in a very nice, aesthetically.
It's not my style, personally, but it is more modern than most places here.
Modern way. So maybe not aesthetically pleasing way for some people, but a modern way. I personally really liked it. I walked in and I was like, this is kind of what I want my living situation to look like. Also being very close to the beach, being where we're at now, it's like a 30-minute drive to the beach, and we just don't go that often. And it's something we both love is the beach, and we want to take advantage of that more. So being closer, I'm sure we would definitely go more. So I really like that. It is air conditioned, so even though it gets super, super hot, at least we have central AC, which would be great.
Yeah, it has an air conditioned unit in the living room and bedroom.
Okay, yeah.
Nice.
And then, yeah, the street itself was my biggest selling point, where I was like, whatever, I don't care about the rest. I just like want to be on this street. And it's this Christian couple who actually like built the whole street, and they wanted it to be a family-oriented street where everyone engages with one another and comes out and says hello and is friendly and loving and kind, and you know, just a place where like community is such a focus. So I love that. I was like, honestly, I don't care about the rest. I just want to live here for that. However, there are some cons that just kind of make it really hard to move into that place, which if you want to share.
Yeah, I would also add one more pro was the price point. It was
yes.
$2,000, which was the cheapest place
That's
that
true.
we looked at, although it was only a 1-bedroom. But
Yeah.
okay, so for the cons, only 1 bedroom. We wouldn't really have space for guests unless they slept on the couch or in the living room, which we wouldn't want because that's just not comfortable, especially when people come visit us in Hawaii. They want to stay usually at least a week, and to have someone living in your living room for a week would be really stretching and hard and uncomfortable for everyone.
And in this place, it's pretty much your living room and kitchen.
Yes, so they would be in both central areas of the house.
Yeah.
Another con was there's no grass area. There was some outdoor space, but it was all kind of concrete, and yeah, there would be nowhere for Handsome to like run around, play fetch. But we would be close to the beach, but I don't know. After having access to yards recently, just through traveling and stuff, I'm like, it just is so nice to have a yard for
It's
him.
been such a joy to just open up the back door, let my dog run outside, throw the ball around out there, and like not have to worry about him. And yeah, so that would be really awesome to have.
Yes. Another con is it's attached to another house. So in this area, which is Kihei, you'll find most places are not standalone. You're usually attached to a house if you're looking at Ohana's, or you're like in a duplex, so you have neighbors above you or below you. So there's less privacy in that way. And then also the last con was we'd have to move further away from work. So I think both of us just decided if we are going to make this big move to a new area, we'd want 2 bedrooms, and we would want it to be a place that's really beautiful and worth, you know, has the extra space, has yard, and is like worth that. But that's kind of hard to find.
We're asking a lot, and we know that. So we know, you know, there might be some compromises we have to make, and that's okay. But we're also having faith that we can find something that really checks off all the boxes, and trusting that God will provide. So that's that, and we have one more, right?
Yep. All right, number 4. Moving on to house number 4, this one was so cute from the outside. It has this really nice, modern, updated kitchen. I love the white cabinets. It's also really spacious. Then you move on to kind of like the living quarters. It is a 2-bedroom, 1 bath, and the bathroom has decent storage, all these cubbies. which is really nice. I zoomed out so you guys can kind of see things better. The first bedroom was extremely tiny and a really weird layout, so we noticed that we probably couldn't even get a full-size bed in that little nook. It would be a really hard layout. It would be perfect for an office, but yeah, it would kind of be hard to figure out with guests. We kind of were thinking we'd have to measure this area just to see if we could even fit a bed in there for when people stay over. Then you move on to the master bedroom. We love the high ceilings and all the natural light. It's beautiful. It also has this huge lanai, a walk-in closet, and yes, look at this huge porch. And it's also on a private lot, so although it looks like we would have neighbors really close, that tiny home is owned by the landlord, who comes and visits just a few times a year. So we would have the entire place to ourselves. And then out here is the living room, and that little closet held the laundry. All right, this one we are calling
the Blueberry Cottage.
It's so cute. It's
like I did that.
Really...
You just jumped in there and just matched you. That was awesome, right? Yeah. What do you guys think? Drop in the comments. Was that awesome or no?
Okay, Blueberry Cottage. It was so cute from the outside, as you saw. It's funny because I love a colorful exterior, but if anything inside was colorful, I would freak out.
Like, you're so neutral that...
But it's cute when there's like a pop of color on the outside.
Yeah, it's super beachy.
Yeah. Okay, so getting into the pros, this was one of our favorite spots. It was updated, very modern, especially the kitchen. It was a DIY job, so you could see some imperfections, but overall, like, just all those like white cabinets. It was really spacious too.
Totally.
So that was a huge pro, and the entire house itself was pretty, it felt like new and like updated.
Yeah.
It had high ceilings.
Yeah.
I think there was ceiling fans in both rooms, which is very important because these places do not have air conditioning.
Yeah.
It had a spacious living room as well. There was a large lanai, like this huge porch, and we would also be the only property on the lot for the most part. There is a tiny house on the same lot, but that's where the owner comes and visits a few times a year, but she doesn't live there full time. So it would be like we kind of had the lot to ourselves.
Yeah.
Although now that I think about it, there was not a fenced. It's not completely a fenced yard.
Yeah, which I'm sure she would have been totally cool with if I fenced it.
Yeah.
So.
Another pro was you get access to the chicken coop. So there was an empty chicken coop on the property, and we could get some chickens.
Yeah.
And I think there's also access to some gardening areas as well, which is really cool. And the cons.
Well, the cons are the second bedroom was a little small, so probably couldn't fit the bed in there. So that's one thing for guests. Yeah. The price point was pretty up there, so that wasn't necessarily in the range that we wanted to stay in. And then the third con is probably the biggest con, and it's sold out.
It's sold out.
It's sold out, and it's rented.
And
it's already rented.
It's been rented.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one literally went. She had put it on Facebook Marketplace.
That day.
That night.
Or that night.
The night before, and she already had, what'd she say? She had like 10 couples come tour it the next morning.
Yeah. She had like 30 people reach out, and like 10 people already came to check it out in the next morning.
They're like, this is not going to last till February. This is going to go fast. So we just, I mean, it was the best place we toured, in my opinion, but we knew probably wouldn't be there.
And it's gone.
And it wasn't.
So.
Anyway, so those are all the places we toured. Let us know which is your favorite, what your opinions are in the comments. I think we're going to be looking at a few more places, so maybe we'll do a part 2.
Yeah, totally.
House hunting. We still don't know where we're going to live yet, so.
Yeah, but we still have a month, so.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah. If we're a week out, that's when we really need to be worried.
Yeah. But no, like I don't know, like how do you feel?
I'm still feeling pretty good. I think we have some good options. Like the place I'm most excited about, we're going to tour when we get back to the island next week. And I'm really excited about that place.
Yeah.
There's also potential to move into one of our friends' place if they find a new place to live, if they're going to move out soon. So I feel like we have some good options, and I mean, God has always provided a home for us.
So well too.
This has just
Yeah.
been the first time we've actually done like the house hunting portion. But who knows? Might not even be necessary. Might just find us.
Right? And that's how I feel too. I'm just like, have a lot of peace and faith that He's going to provide the right place for us at the right time. I wouldn't mind if He like picked up His pace a little bit, but you know. No, it's good. It's good. I'm excited. I think it's going to be really cool. And take you guys along for the journey.
Yep. So, hope you enjoy this video. Love you, and
Jesus loves you more.